Brian Mundubile breaks silence. I'm ready to be president. Lungu family reacts to PF's new hope. 4 months, the Patriotic Front has been leaderless, torn between loyalty to the late Edgar Lungu and the hunt for new direction. But now, something unexpected has happened. Brian Mundubile, one of PF's most respected figures, has finally spoken out. I am ready to be president of Zambia, he declared. Words that sent shockwaves across Lusaka and South Africa alike. Inside the Lungu family circle, reactions are mixed. Some call it betrayal, others call it destiny. But what does this mean for the future of the PF? And could this be the start of Zambia's next great political chapter? Welcome to InspirAfrica Official, where we break down Africa's biggest political moments with truth, balance, and depth. Today, we dive into the declaration shaking the PF. Brian Mundubile has openly expressed his readiness to take over Zambia's presidency. This announcement doesn't come in isolation. It arrives at a time when the Lungu family is still mourning, and the Patriotic Front is desperately seeking unity. In this episode, we'll explore how Mundubile's statement changes everything. The power shifts inside PF, the silent reactions within the Lungu household, and the whispers of who might stand with or against him as Zambia edges closer to 2026. Zambia's political landscape just shifted. Brian Mundubile has declared, I am ready to be president of Zambia. His bold announcement has reignited debates inside the Patriotic Front and sent shockwaves through the Lungu family. In this exclusive analysis, we uncover how this revelation could reshape PF's future, divide loyalties, and redefine Zambia's road to 2026. Will the Lungu family endorse Mundubile's vision, or resist it to protect Edgar Lungu's legacy? Stay tuned as InspirAfrica Official breaks down every angle, from Lusaka to South Africa. The declaration that shook PF, I'm ready to lead, Zambia wakes up to political tremors, a bold declaration that's shaking the Patriotic Front, PF, from the ground up. Brian Mundubile, the quiet, disciplined, and loyal PF parliamentarian once known for his calm tone and strategic mind, has just said the words no one expected to hear, I'm ready to be president. Those 6 words have set the entire political stage ablaze. 4 months, the Patriotic Front had been struggling to find direction, fractured by internal rivalries, weighed down by court battles, and still mourning the loss of Edgar Chagwa Lungu, the man who held the party together for nearly a decade. But with Mundubile's announcement, something has shifted, a spark of hope, a whisper of revival, and, for some, a flicker of fear. In interviews, Mundubile called his decision a call to duty, expressing a deep sense of obligation to restore the PF's dignity, unity, and purpose. He spoke with conviction, not as a man seeking power, but as one answering what he called the cry of a broken movement. Yet, beneath that confidence lies a storm brewing. Within PF circles, reactions are mixed. Some MPs see him as the disciplined bridge builder capable of bringing peace to a fractured party. Others, especially those close to the Lungu family, are skeptical, questioning his timing and intentions. Is this move a betrayal of the Lungu legacy, or the very step needed to preserve it? Whispers within the party suggest that not everyone welcomes Mundubile's rise. Some fear it could divide the PF even further. But one thing is certain, Brian Mundubile's declaration has changed the game. The PF is no longer leaderless, and Zambia's opposition landscape may never be the same again. The man behind the moment, from loyal servant to leader, to understand the magnitude of Mundubile's declaration, we need to look back. Brian Mundubile has long been known as one of the PF's most loyal sons, a man who served under Edgar Lungu with respect, humility, and loyalty. He was leader of the opposition in Parliament, a former Minister of Justice, and one of the few PF figures who maintained a reputation for discipline even in chaos. When the PF lost power in 2021, Mundubile was among the few who didn't flee or switch sides. He remained firm, defending the party's image while calling for internal renewal. To many within the PF, he became a symbol of consistency and integrity, a man who could rebuild the party's credibility. But loyalty, in politics, often comes with expectations. 4 years, Mundubile stayed in the shadows, quietly supporting Edgar Lungu and refusing to speak about leadership ambitions. His silence was seen as respect, and it earned him trust from the Lungu family. That's why his recent declaration caught everyone off guard. His words weren't just about running for the presidency, they symbolized a shift in power, perhaps even a quiet separation from the Lungu legacy. And in the PF, where loyalty to Edgar Lungu remains sacred, that's a dangerous move. The Lungu family reacts, Shock, silence, and speculation, the Lungu family's reaction has been the most talked about since the announcement. According to insiders close to Esther Lungu, the former First Lady, the family was surprised and cautious about Mundubile's declaration. While there's no official statement, sources describe mixed emotions within the inner circle. Some family members reportedly see Mundubile's rise as a betrayal, believing the PF should not move forward without full consultation with the family, who still view Edgar Lungu as the moral compass of the party. Others, however, view it as a blessing in disguise. After months of internal confusion and a leadership vacuum, they say Mundubile's courage to step up may finally bring direction to a party that has been wandering without a map. Esther Lungu, known for her calm diplomacy, is said to be observing the developments quietly, waiting to see whether Mundubile's call for unity is genuine or politically calculated. Meanwhile, figures like Makibi Zulu and Raphael Nakasinda are watching closely. Both men have their own ambitions and ties to the Lungu family, and Mundubile's rise could either align them or push them into open rivalry. The PF's house is once again divided, this time not by ideology but by loyalty. Inside PF headquarters, the battle for control. Inside the PF headquarters, the mood is tense but hopeful. Posters of Edgar Lungu still hang on the walls, but conversations have shifted. Members are quietly asking, is it time to move on? Mundubile's statement has rekindled energy among grassroots supporters who've long demanded action. Many believe he represents a new era, someone who can restore the PF's dignity without the scandals that haunted its final years in power. His allies argue that he embodies the true PF spirit, humble, organized, and close to the people. In contrast, critics accuse him of being too soft, too cautious to face the fiery aggression of the ruling UPND machinery led by President Hakainde Hichilema. Political analysts suggest that Mundubile's greatest challenge will not come from outside, but from within. He must unite a fractured PF that's now split between the Lungu loyalists, who still want Edgar Lungu's blessing before any leadership move, the reformists, who believe PF must evolve beyond Lungu's shadow to survive 2026, the opportunists, who see the leadership contest as a path to power. Mundubile's balancing act will determine not just his own fate, but the PF's survival as a credible opposition force. As one analyst put it, Brian Mundubile is walking through a political minefield. Every handshake he makes could be a deal or a trap. What this means for Zambia, a new chapter or history repeating itself. So, what does this moment mean for Zambia's political future? If Brian Mundubile succeeds in consolidating support within the PF, it could mark the beginning of a new era, a more measured, disciplined opposition capable of challenging the ruling UPND with policy rather than protest. Already, his supporters are rallying around slogans like PF Reborn and The People's Choice, emphasizing unity, peace, and development. They describe him as a servant leader who wants to heal old wounds and restore trust in the political process. But skeptics warn that Zambia has seen this before, promises of reform that quickly turn into factional warfare. With Edgar Lungu's influence still looming and PF factions jostling for control, Mundubile's path to leadership will not be smooth. As rumors swirl of secret meetings between his camp and former Lungu loyalists in South Africa, one question dominates the conversation. Will the Lungu family endorse him or quietly resist from the shadows? Because in Zambia's political landscape, the Lungu name still carries power, and any PF leader without that moral endorsement risks losing both the heart and the history of the party. Yet, there's something different about this moment. For the first time in months, there's hope, real hope, that the PF can rise again, not through anger or defiance, but through reflection and renewal. Brian Mundubile has spoken. The torch of leadership is in his hands. Whether he becomes the man to unite a broken opposition or the next casualty of internal wars will depend on what he does next. As the sun sets over Lusaka, one thing is certain: Zambia's political story is far from over. And for the Patriotic Front, the next chapter begins with 6 powerful words: I'm ready to be president.